Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It's Week 3 of the NFL on EA Sports.
A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at US Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, it's Week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Minnesota Vikings. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. And they will be led out by their 6'6" quarterback.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
First carry here for Todd Gurley. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Gurley now out of the gun. And yet again, he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th, now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
The numbers on the ground for Gurley last week. 14 carries, 54 yards.
They've won 2 straight games, and they've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory.
6, and it's 3rd down.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. Pass, Todd Gurley. Wave goodbye. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Todd Gurley, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bucs have taken a first-quarter lead. Extra point attempt here still to come. Gives the Bucs a 7-0 lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it's finished off by a Todd Gurley touchdown run. Well, following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Thomas. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. The numbers a week ago for Cook. 13 carries, 103 in the yardage department.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now. Number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful of one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
They go play action here on first down. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
A gain of 9.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
7-yard line.
Now back to throw. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front. Offensive line collected victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
2nd and 9 now. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down.
And a Buccaneer first down.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Thrown to the sideline and incomplete. Clinton Dix on the coverage.
2 seconds to go, first quarter. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he finds his tight end, it's Ertz. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry. Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And yet again, he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. This Minnesota D up to the task on the 3rd down pass play. Field goal unit and Joey Sly now. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game, and they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Gets this one to use check. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. We'll check on his status when we get back. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Cook. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. He'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Taken down and sacked.
Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble, because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Yeah, that will be incomplete.
Intended for Adam Thielen.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just 1 first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own.
So here are the Bucs to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's got Evans. And some room to roam now. And down to the 15. 2nd quarter action, 1:56 remaining. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Caught by the tight end Ertz. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. This is caught. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. From 10 yards out. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Extra point splits the uprights, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Dalvin Cook taking the field for the Vikings' next possession.
He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. He'll look to throw.
Oh, going for Jefferson down.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30. A big play for the Vikings on third down. 52 yards.
I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run in the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And this is caught at the 8. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. They'll look to throw again. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Smith Jr. His second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Mike Evans and the rest of the offensive unit heading back out there now. The early returns for him, very good to start this season. Interesting to see if he can keep up that torrid pace.
Yeah, when you're talking about averaging 100 yards a game as a receiver, extrapolate that over 16 games, and you're having a monster season. So, yeah, you love what he's doing early, but I think it's got to go back to the offseason, doesn't it? It's got to go back to the roots, spending time with the guy who's going to throw the ball to him, spending time watching tape, spending time reading defenses, and, of course, getting himself ready to play.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. This is Ertz on the pitch and catch. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. They'll look to throw now on 1st down.
They're looking for Godwin, but it's intercepted.
And it's Clinton Dix with a pick. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And finally, he is out of bounds, but not before taking it down near the 15. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find him at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story, and wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Steps away to his left. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half.
First down and goal to go.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. It's a quarterback sneak, and he is over the line for another rushing touchdown.
Is he a quarterback or is he a tailback?
It's their quarterback in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. So they're able to capture the lead here just before halftime.
And not only that, they get the ball to start the second half.
That's right.
This is almost like basketball down the stretch, right, where you get the 2-for-1 situation where you try and get 2 shots to your opponent's 1. In this situation, they got the touchdown. They'll get another shot out to start the second half.
Could be a big turnaround. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit. And it's the Packers who are out in front in the second quarter. The Packers still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Next, we head off to check out another game. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. Derek Carr has a couple of touchdown passes there. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh. Check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Baltimore Ravens.
And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. Now that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great if that's where you're going.
Yeah, protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, but he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So for Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Lets it fly for Thielen. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
That one brought back a few nightmares because when a quarterback gets outside of the pocket, your job as a defensive back, make sure you stay as deep as the deepest receiver and not let anyone leak behind you for a big play. A nice job there having discipline and not letting them connect on that pass.
Throw for Thielen once again. This time it's complete.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
Looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal.
They'll look to throw here. They'll buy some time right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
They'll roll him out right. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kyle Rudolph there to make the grab. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the 2nd half. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Ertz over the middle. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain there of 21 yards.
We know he has pretty good hands on display there. In fact, he only needed one of them.
Yeah, nowadays, all these receivers work on this, right? They do the one-handed catches off the machine in practice. They do it with their quarterbacks. They do it contested, uncontested. They make it part of their repertoire.
Another first down as they call his number again. He's got 15 yards here.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target, and he didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucs may have moved. So that'll back him up 5. From back at the 8 now after the false start. Another try at 1st and goal. Back to throw again. And that'll be incomplete. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
They'll try and push it in with Gurley. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. It's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. They're going to look to throw. Forced out to his left. He's going to take off with it. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 9.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the 1st as the tackle is made at the 33. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They'll run for it. Cook. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive?
That's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They run. Cook. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
That's another Vikings 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 40.
Now a run with Cook. Cook a 1st down and more. And he's got some space here. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Vikings
Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Boy, Dalvin Cook just so explosive in the open field. He's not a small guy either, but once he gets those legs churning, look out. And the lead is up to 14. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Bucs now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Remember, throughout my career here, defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. And they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. They'll look to throw here on 1st down.
And that's complete. It's Chris Godwin.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4.
At the 43-yard line.
And he finds Howard complete. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that could be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. He got caught for the penalty.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. It'll be a gain of 15 on the play. And they're going to face a 3rd down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Yeah, that right there will set them back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? the guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
Cook following the penalty. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They run it again with Cook, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The Bucs forced to use their third and final timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal. Oh, how about this on first and goal? And the Vikings are going to be set up with a first and goal. He couldn't quite reach the chalk, but they'll have it at the 1-yard line. A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be second and goal. Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Pushing it in from a yard away. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. They'll come out throwing here on first down. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at the 42-yard line.
On first down, it's Cook, and he's going to get this inside the 30. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Cook. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. On the carry, it's Cook. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal. On play action, they'll throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving.
And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen. His 2nd third touchdown on the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Back now comes Tampa Bay. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That could give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward. And it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off, but in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.